Hey, what's going on, guys? So, real quick, I wanted to talk about what I learned from interviewing Serge Gatari. Phenomenal rise, brilliant thinker. But I think, his genius comes from understanding where to apply energy. One of the big things that he talked about was outreach, right? And a lot of marketers, a lot of business owners, a lot of people don't understand. And Serge kept saying one thing. He's like, the reason why your business is not generating what you know it can is because of the fact that you don't have that attention on you that you need, right? So you need to drastically increase your outreach. You need more people knowing about you, right? The more people that know about you, the better it is for you to be able to sell, the better it is for you to be able to generate income, and most importantly, make that impact. So a lot of people, and Serge said this thing, he was like, look, you can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, then guess what? Like, it's stuck on the shelf somewhere with no attention. That's why you see all these brands, right? You see all these corporations, from the Coca-Colas to the Apple, right? What are they doing, right? They're getting massive amounts of attention on their product. Coca-Cola has these trucks that go by everywhere you see. There's some kind of label, some kind of banner, right? Something about Coca-Cola is right there in front of your face. You know why? Because they know they're trying to stay top of your mind. They know that the more that you see it, the higher the chances that next time you're thirsty, you want to go grab something to drink, you're going to just go choose Coca-Cola, right? The same thing with Apple and these other companies, right? Even look at marketers, right, that are really at the top of the game, from the Ty Lopez's to whoever, right? They're commanding a lot of attention. And the way Serge does this, right, is his YouTube videos. He puts out enormous value and he speaks to the pain points that consultants and agency owners have, right? So he's giving away so much valuable information that even his YouTube channel is a funnel, right? Because by the time you've absorbed all that content, guess what? You're literally going to say, this is the solution I'm looking for. And when you get on that sales call with him, or, he's not taking sales calls, but somebody on his team, your barrier, the defenses, the friction is greatly reduced. So the content is a key thing. Another thing that Serge said was that if he could go back in the day and coach a younger Serge, he would have focused on building his brand. So we're beginning to see in the market whereby, everybody's got something to advertise. Grandma Lucy has figured out Facebook ads. She's advertising her knitting class, right? Everybody's got something to sell. So what does that mean? It means that your brand now is more important than ever. If people like you, they're digesting a lot of your content, it's going to be easier for them to do business with you. If I don't know you and you're trying to sell me something, especially something that I see others are trying to sell, I'm going to give you a harder time. The reason why is because you're one of many, and I see you as vying for my money, even though you may have a valuable product to give me. So I think the branding comes in to really differentiate and isolate you from everybody else, right? And your branding is so key because it shows who you are, what type of person, your values, like how you go about life, how you think. There was this really great thing that Serge talked about. He called it a pre-mortem. This is related to Charlie Munger's and Warren Buffett's inverse thinking. And what this strategy technique is a mental model. Basically, it says you're trying to achieve a goal. Let's say you want to achieve $180K, $1 million in the next month. You then write down everything that caused you to fail or to not achieve that goal. So Serge uses the pre-mortem to say, okay, I want to achieve 500K or 1 mil next month. Now, I'm going to write down everything that caused us to fail, that caused us to not, every single detail that caused us to not achieve this goal, right? So after thoroughly writing down all those details, Serge says that he then goes and he builds systems and infrastructures to prevent that from ever happening. right? So when you think about it, it's like um, you want to build a a tower, or you want to build some device, right? You're saying to yourself, what are all the possible things that could go wrong, right? In stage, in details, and then creating infrastructures. It might be quality assurance. I'm thinking that in Serge's case, he's thinking about how to drastically increase his outreach, right? He needs more people knowing about him, knowing about his service, knowing about what it is that he has to the public, so that he can increase revenue, he can increase cash flow, he can increase the amount of people that are positively being impacted by client acquisition. And he really mentioned that in the urgency too as well, in increasing outreach. That's really one of the things that I really took away from Serge was this really increasing your outreach, really making sure that you are not on the sidelines while everybody else is getting attention. You have to vie and battle and fight and get attention too as well. I think the other thing that Serge talked about was infrastructure. Having infrastructure within your business that provides extreme value to your clients, your customers, your consumers, and using that to really push more and more value. Really, the other thing that Serge talked about, I asked him a question. I said, "Hey, Serge, what is your gut feeling telling you that you've got to do in order to scale and get to the next level?" And Serge said a couple of different things. One thing that I finally remember was that he spoke about making his program more scalable. So, if he's doing 1 mil right now, a 1 mil to 5 mil a year, he's like, okay, there's a lot of elements and structures within the business that require a lot of like human interaction and energy and resources from his team. So how can he build a product that requires less human energy from his team and resources, but still gives not, if not the same value, even more to the consumers and to the clients, consultants that he's working with, right? So because in order to scale, there's going to be more resources, there's more complexity. So I think, in other words, what Serge is saying is like, how can he create a simplified model that can scale to the masses while giving him that cash flow and still imparting that value. So he's also thinking about creating other products for people that may not necessarily be able to purchase the high ticket products, right? So that they can come within the ecosystem and then maybe later be sold on higher level activities. So that was just a couple of my observations. I think that the other thing was his drive. I think Serge saw his father. He said his father like worked 7 to 8 different jobs and started several different businesses and was making multiple 6 figures a year. So I think that, and his upbringing in Rwanda, coming from the age of 13 to Canada, there's a vast difference. It's hugely contrasting. And I think one thing he kept saying over and over is like, look, I've got this chance, I've got this opportunity to create something incredible, and I want to create it. And I think that applies to anybody. He said that he notices that sometimes the people that are born here within the States or, in privileged countries, they tend to be more entitled and more privileged. So because of that, they don't really put their foot on the gas pedal and really make something out of themselves. So, his brilliant thinking also, I think, is the fact that Serge focuses on higher level thinking and principles. He studied Sam Ovens, he studied Nick Cosman, and he was able to like really learn a lot of higher level things. He said Sam is really great at human psychology, but Nick was really good at outreach. And those two things combined together really taught Serge a lot. When I asked him about, what is he studying now? And I think he's studying how to build really effective teams that can come in and really take over product development, sourcing, and positioning those products for immense success and even support within those products. So, more power to Serge and the team. I think client acquisition, I'm currently in it. I'm not paid to do any of this. I think it's a great community for people to come in and learn how to do outreach, man. And you're surrounded by massive amounts of people who are doing it. You're understanding the strategies. Even as the strategies evolve, you will be there too as well. I've been able to use a growth team to close deals, monthly recurrence that are paying me currently, and I'm excited to keep the journey going. I suggest that everybody here look into it and get started. If you have any questions, drop it below in the comment section below, and we'll get to you. Let's get to it.